in Westminster and you don't see a lot of common sense. I accept that, but perhaps one of the challenges and opportunities I've got is to try to bring a bit of common sense to a situation that is otherwise in turmoil. OK,
now, if you are going to have Indy Ref 2, as everyone calls it, is it the case that the polls still trump Brexit? In other words, if the polls don't show consistently for a few weeks that you would certainly win it, will you hold back from having it?
You know, this is about what I judge to be in the best interests of Scotland, and if it's my judgment at some point that the best interests of Scotland, i.e. staying in the European Union, can only be delivered by an independence referendum, then I will have a job to do to convince people that that is the right
Would
option.
you hold that referendum, even if the polls were showing you might not win it?
If I thought it was in Scotland's best interest, then I would seek to persuade a majority of people that that was in Scotland's best interest.
Because you know perfectly well, I mean, bringing back to the politics of this, you can't afford to lose another one.
Gordon, do you know what? I can't afford... That's looking at it from my narrow political interests as leader of the SNP. Now, I don't want to sound pious or sanctimonious here, and I hope what I'm about to say doesn't do this. But I'm not going to make judgments over the period ahead on what's right for me as leader of the SNP or the SNP as a party. I'm the First Minister of Scotland, and I've got to try and make judgments about what's in the best interest of Scotland. And if I reach a point over the next few months that says the only way I believe we can protect Scotland's economic, social interests is to become independent, then I have a duty to say that to people in Scotland and to try to bring Scotland together behind that. And that's, you know, that's perhaps the responsibility of leadership here. Scotland right now needs to have an honest conversation at every step of the way. This is a situation not of our choosing. If we simply stand back and allow it to happen, then the economic consequences, the social, the cultural consequences, the consequences for our place in the world are going to be devastating. So I've got a duty to find a different path forward, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
There is another big constitution